Superstars in their respective corners now for this tag team match. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. But they will be facing some fierce tag team action with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
These teams have built up lots of animosity towards each other. What's JD in for?
Boom! DDT! This spells trouble for McDonough.
Here we go. Cover. There's two.
Set in. Set up.
Oh, no.
Launched up high into the pop-up powerbomb.
Looking to capitalize on that move.
And that'll finally do it. What a victory.
Here are your winners. The team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate Warrior.
When you earn a win like that, you've got to feel pretty good about yourself.
Definitely a cause for celebration. What an impressive victory.
And it is finally time for some good old tag team action. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And in the other corner, they will be dealing with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
These teams have scouted each other very well.
Setting up.
And looking at Jacob Fatu.
Down by the DDT. This spells trouble for McDonough.
Major win! That'll change his career tonight!
Here are your winners. The team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate Warrior!
It's always interesting to watch teams clash like we have here in this one.
These matches are always a perfect chance to find out how well these superstars actually get along.
And an equal opportunity to stab an enemy in the back. Ooh!
Jacob's planning something here.
Ooh! DDT!
This spells trouble for McDonough.
Making the most of that with the pin.
Man, that was such a long and hard-fought match. He earned that victory.
Here are your winners. The team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate Warrior.
Unquestionably a big win here tonight.
After that win, this superstar stock is rising, and they are dancing all the way to the pay window.
Here we go with the tag matchup the WWE Universe has been salivating for. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, Ultimate Warrior. And across the ring, the team they're ready to face off with: JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
Hard to decide what team has the advantage here. It'll probably come down to who can cut the ring in half the best, who can control the pace. This looks like the setup to DDT.
Did Jacob Fatu get enough of it?
Covers, wasting no time.
This could be it.
And a kick out. No one saw that coming.
I don't know how he did it, but he's hanging in there.
Just how much pain is he willing to endure in this match?
It must be demoralizing knowing you've unleashed your best shot on your opponent to no avail. Turning it into a pin for the win. An exhausting match, but a victory he'll savor forever.
Here are your winners. The team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate Warrior.
They went the extra mile in this win.
I agree. What a win.
No doubt about it. The better superstar definitely won tonight.
These teams are ready to test each other in this tag team matchup. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And we'll see if they're prepared for tag team action as they go head-to-head with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
And communicate.
He has a hold of JD.
And looking at Jacob Fatu. Oh, what a DDT!
Wow. Jacob about to end this fight.
2 count. And that'll do it. It's finally over with the win.
Here are your winners. The team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate Warrior.
And here we go with this tag team matchup. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And standing across from them, it's a very tough test with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
Both sides in this match know that tag team competition is He has a hold of JD.
And looking at Jacob Fatu.
Absolutely spiked.
DDT.
Cover. 2. And the victory.
Here are your winners. The team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate Warrior.
Time to put these teams to the test in this one under traditional tag rules. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And across from them, they will be squaring off with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
And trust is key to victory in a match like this. If you don't have a tag partner, you can... He has a hold of JD.
DDT.
Planted. Did Jacob Fatu get enough of it?
That might have done it. This could be it. 2. Oh, he got it. What a win.
Here are your winners. The team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate Warrior.
Time to test how well these superstars work together. It's a good old tag team match. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And on the other side of the ring, they are facing off with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
This match can very well come down to experience. And I'm not just talking about individual experience. I'm talking about the experience you have with your partner. Knowing how to be on the same page is going to be crucial.
What's JD in for? Oh, what a DDT. Is that all she wrote for McDonough?
There's 2. What? Only 2?
I don't know how he just kicked out, and I'll tell you what, I don't really think he knows either.
Everything possible was done to win there, but it just fell short.
Samoan drop.
And now with the cover. An exhausting victory, but a win nonetheless.
Here are your winners. The team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate Warrior.
That was an impressive match all around.
And here is our winner.
Absolutely. That's the kind of win that can catapult you to bigger and better things.
Teams in their respective corners for tonight's tag team contest. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. They've got their hands full across the ring with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
You know this is a tough match for superstars who don't play well with others. You really need to find a way. What's JD in for?
DDT plants them.
This spells trouble for McDonough.
Following it up with the cover.
2. It's over. It is over.
Here are your winners. The team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate Warrior.
Impressive victory from bell to bell.
Hard to argue with another notch in the win column, especially one like that.
Here we go with the tag matchup the WWE Universe has been salivating for. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And this is sure to be a barn burner of a tag match in this encounter with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
Quick tags and staying fresh are...
Jacob's planning something here.
DDT!
Did Jacob Fatu get enough of it?
Here it is.
Now the pin. Kick out. I thought it was finished off for sure.
I do not know how you survive that.
Staying alive there is unheard of.
A new strategy is needed right about now if that couldn't end things.
Samoan drop.
And cover now for the match. 2 count. Picking up the victory as his opponent does his best. Saxton stares up at the lights.
Here are your winners. The team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate Warrior.
Teams are assembled in their corners. What's going to be the key in this one?
Well, teamwork makes the dream work. Mark my words, there's no room for selfishness in this environment. Watch your teammates back, and they'll watch yours. What's Jacob Fatu's intentions here? DDT! Is that all she wrote for McDonough for the win?
2. Guys, he put him away. That's a pretty big win.
Here are your winners. The team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate Warrior.
Wow, just wow.
A tremendous win in this match.
This win is huge. I'm sure they'll be posting about this on social media all week long.
Time to test how well these superstars work together. It's a good old tag team match. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. Then the opposing team is, of course, filled with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
We're about to see.
And looking at Jacob Fatu, DDT!
Jacob about to end this fight.
Now with the cover.
That's gotta be it.
He did it! He did it!
Here are your winners. The team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate Warrior.
Putting the locker room on notice with a win like that.
This is what it's all about. All the hard work, all the training, it's all for achieving big victories like this one.
Always difficult for the referee to keep order in these matches.
There's always an added wrinkle here. An unexpected team, a rivalry you didn't see coming. These matches are always surprising. Able to avoid damage with an evasive maneuver. What's JD in for?
DDT! Did Jacob Fatu get enough of it?
Precision offense into the pin. This could be it.
What a Samoan drop. Into the pin. 2. And that will end it.
Here are your winners. The team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate Warrior.
This is a big win for them here and a must-win match.
The action we just witnessed was really something else.
This is one I won't forget for a long time.
Teams are in their respective corners for this tag match. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And they'll have their work cooperating cut out for them here, dealing with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
It is going to be all about teamwork and partnership.
These teams are ready to test each other in this tag team matchup. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And on the other side of the ring, they are facing off with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
And there is a lot of animosity growing between these teams. I expect all four competitors to throw caution to the wind.
What's Jacob Fatu's intentions here? Ooh, DDT delivered. Is that all she wrote for McDonough?
There's two. It is enough. Finally, it's over.
Here are your winners. The team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate Warrior.
Sorry guys, I forgot I had that muted.
Animate object moving under the water.
Let's get on with it.
49-year-old said, quote, "It was a bit of a dreek day, and we only had 12 passengers. We were at our
So I've
halfway
been
point
talking
off
to
Ivor
myself
Morriston, where we turn around.
like a dick for like the last hour and a half or so.
It was
Awesome.
right in the middle of the lock, at about 170 meters down. It was big, at least 10 meters. The contact lasted 10 seconds while we passed over." End quote. According to the official Loch Ness Monster Sighting Registry, there have been at minimum 5 sightings.
And this is sure to be a hard-hitting tag team battle. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And this is sure to be a barn burner of a tag match in this encounter with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
Hard to decide what team has the advantage here. It'll probably...
Jacob's planning something here.
Jacob about to end this fight. Could that be enough?
For the win. He picks up the win.
Then be compared to what plesiosaur DNA would have looked like.
Here are your winners. The team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio.
Is quoted as saying, "There is a very significant amount of eel DNA. Eels are very plentiful in Loch Ness, with eel DNA found at pretty much every location sampled. There are a lot of them. So, are they giant eels? Well, our data doesn't reveal their size, but the sheer quantity of the material says that we can't discount the possibility that there may be giant eels in Loch Ness. Therefore, we can't discount the possibility that what people see and believe is the Loch Ness Monster might
Tag
be
team matchup where a team's cohesion is put in the ultimate test. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And standing across from them, it's a very tough test with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
And I think the crowd knows what we're about to see.
Connecting on the DDT.
This spells trouble for McDonough.
Is it enough? Is this the end? Oh, finally got him. I can't believe this match is finally over.
The appearance of one of the inland freshwater lakes.
Here are your winners. The team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate Warrior.
Mythological water kelpie, while others refer to it the minute descriptions of the sea serpent, which are revived from time to time in newspaper columns. It has been repeatedly seen within the last fortnight by crowds of people, many of whom have come forward from the remotest parts of the parish to witness the uncommon spectacle. The animal is described by some as being in appearance and size like a huge peat stack, while others affirm that a 6-oared boat could pass between the huge fins, which are occasionally visible. All, however, agree in describing its form as that.
Here we go with quite the tag team matchup in store. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. But they will be facing some fierce tag team action with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
Both sides in this match know that tag team competition is a very specific one.
What's JD in for? DDT. Jacob about to end this fight.
Wasting no time. Into the cover. He wins! He wins!
Something dark and ancient still lurking somewhere in the water. Ogo Pogo.
Here are your winners. The team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate Warrior.
Nihatic, which means sacred spirit of the water. They believed that the monster lived near Rattlesnake Island, which is within the lake. For hundreds of years, they would also sacrifice animals to Ogo Pogo before entering the lake. Nihatic was often described as using its tail to create fierce storms to drown victims. According to native legends, a visiting chief, Tim Basket, denied Ogo Pogo's existence.
Two stacked multi-superstar teams set for action in this tag contest.
You have to wonder if some of these alliances are tenuous at best.
It's scoreboard line to put this one away.
And he easily kicks out of the count.
I suppose you have to take the shot, but it's still too early to wrap up this one just yet. Jacob Fatu sending a clear message here.
A great display of confidence, but he doesn't want to give his opponent added motivation.
Describing it as a large snake-like monster. Susan Allison had relations with the natives.
Implanted by the DDT. This spells trouble for McDonough.
Quickly transition, shoulders are down. And he picks up a monumental victory.
30 people saw the monster from their cars while on the beach of Lake Okanagan.
Here are your winners. The team of Jacob Fatu.
These sightings being a website called Ogo Pogo Quest. The two following accounts are from Ogo Pogo Quest. September 7th, 2006. Michelle and Gilles Bellevue from West Bank took this photo of a form just below the water, south of the Kelowna Mission area, on the east side of Okanagan Lake. The photo was taken from their boat at 2:30 p.m. They estimated the object to be about 25 feet long and approximately 50 feet from their boat. May 24th, 2015. Bill Stysick captured a few photos of the alleged monster from 200 meters away.
The teams are in place and this match can now get underway.
That is a lot of bodies. Should be really interesting to see how the action unfolds here.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what strategies both of these teams might employ. This could go either way.
Jacob Fatu trying to ramp things up.
He can be enjoying the moment too much, giving his opponent a lot of room to recover.
This figure is seen just
Looking to hit this.
for the First Nation.
Lights out. DDT connects.
Is that all she wrote for McDonough?
Man, it's gotta feel good. Sweet, sweet victory.
Leaving them completely exsanguined.
Here are your winners.
The
The
chupacabra
team
is now
of
commonly
Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio.
which appears to suffer from extreme mange. The video you're you're seeing now is police dash cam footage of an alleged chupacabra captured in 2008. In Hood County, Texas, in July 2010, animal control officers cornered and killed an alleged chupacabra. Texas A&M University scientists conducted tests on it and found it to be a coyote-dog hybrid, suffering from extreme mange and internal parasites. Mange is a contagious skin disease.
And ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a little tag team warfare. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And we'll see if they're prepared for tag team action as they go head-to-head with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
The trust is key to victory in a match like this. If you don't have a tag partner you can rely on, you might as well pack it in now.
Oh, it's coming!
DDT! Did Jacob Fatu get enough of it?
Follows up, shoulders down, 2 count. And got the win. That is a huge win here tonight.
And a pig were found with puncture marks on their bodies and allegedly
The team up, Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio.
cult. Newspapers gave the suspect a name, the Vampire of Mocha. Despite these anomalous killings, the local police dismissed it all, attributing the livestock murders to dog attacks. The two main issues of this conclusion are, 1. Feral packs of dogs have existed in Puerto Rico for a very long time, and locals will be familiar with dog attacks, and this would be no different. The locals would not find this bizarre. The second issue is that Puerto
Putting
Rico
teamwork to the test in this match under traditional tag rules. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey,
Nothing fancy here. Tasting victory.
countered into a new cover. Big kick out. Beautiful. Might sneak one. Stops the ref count before 2.
He is going to take this match as long and as far as he needs to.
Jacob Fatu sending a clear message here.
He could be enjoying the moment too much, giving his opponent a lot of room to recover.
March 12, 1975.
What a
Got him in
prick.
the corner now.
Torres and his children witnessed
And
something
Jacob with the
indescribable.
wherewithal to counter.
Ooh, nasty shot to the throat.
Standing in the night sky on the outskirts of Mocha. Torres connected his UFO sight to the Mocha Vampire by stating that the object had been flying over fields in which some of the strangely killed animals had been found.
Right across the throat. That hit wiped the sadistic smile off McDonough's face.
Yeah, this is the hostility Jacob Fatu wanted to bring.
A farmer lost 34 chickens to the Mocha Vampire during the night. The animal death count
Jacob
was
setting himself up top.
only a 2-week period since it first manifested.
We're going to finish it off.
It was around this time that Torres, the same farmer who witnessed the UFO, encountered 2 gigantic Puerto Rican boas, which were both 6 feet long. Luis slayed the
Attempting high-risk move after high-risk move at a breakneck pace.
However,
Launch it.
Dr. Juan Rivera,
Perfect senton. You've got to be kidding me. Using your body as a missile over and over again.
killing animals as large as a goat, much less.
And he goes crashing to the outside.
added that these snake smells were not actually.
McDonough telling his opponent to bring it.
To further this, on March
And now
8th,
thrown back into the ring.
continued, putting the killer snake theory in great. By April,
Into the hammerlock.
reports of strange animal
Oh,
deaths
boy.
started
JD for the win.
all across the island of Puerto Rico, even as the police failed to find human perpetrators and the press failed to find rational explanations. July 31st, 1975. A newspaper article detailed the final attack of the Mocha Vampire. The following
this
is
is
what I
going
was
on
able
too
to
long,
glean
like-
from a rough translation of the article. At Samuel Muniz's farm,
I've actually got to
distance
concentrate
from
instead of
another farm
recording
from which the
messages.
vampire claimed 4 victims and attacked a woman, the vampire struck again. Muniz's dog, a German shepherd named Joggy, heard the frightened howls of goats and began wildly barking and pulling on his chain, eventually breaking free and charging to their rescue. Joggy heroically arrived before the vampire could finish off one of the goats, rushing at the creature. A neighbor went out to investigate what was happening.
And here we go with this tag team matchup. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. They've got their hands full across the ring with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
Quick tags and staying fresh are imperative in a tag match. To quit what's JD in for?
And looking at Jacob Fatu, and that was an expertly executed DDT. That might have put it away. There's two. And a win! That may be one of the biggest wins of his career.
The first actual sighting of the Chupacabra was by Madeline Tolentino.
Here are your winners, the team of Jacob Fatu.
Better illustrate this monster. The Chupacabra was 4 to 5 feet tall. Its body was covered in fine gray fur, peppered with dark spots. The creature had large red eyes that were damp and protruding, running up to its temples and spreading to the sides. Small holes for nostrils, a lipless mouth, and no visible ears. The creature's arms were thin, with 3 clawed fingers. It stood on 2 muscular legs.
Superstars in their respective corners now for this tag team match. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu. Ray McDonough takedown. Holding over versus him. Shoulders down. He forces a break before the count of 2.
Strong kick out, but you have to wonder if he can keep it up.
Jacob Fatu trying to ramp things up. Kick right to the face.
Doctor of veterinary medicine, Angel sent
right to the kidneys from behind.
It only has been caused by a human who he theorized to be part of a religious sect.
What a reversal.
Or possibly
Super kick.
Jacob Fatu feeding off the crowd, feeding off their energy.
Blood loss through 1 or more puncture wounds.
What's Jacob Fatu's intentions here?
Did Jacob Fatu get enough of it? Oh, this could be over. Oh, breaking up the pin.
At the locations in which the entity staged its attacks. To me, this lends more credibility to the alien.
Samoan drop.
However, this led paranormal researcher John
Into the pinfall for the victory. Finally, it's over.
Such as those in plutonium. Keel goes on to be
That took way too long.
Jacob Fatu, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate.
manifestations have such brief, transient existences in our material world. When first materialized, Keel suggests, these creatures pose no threat to humans, but as their atomic integrity deteriorates, they might easily project lethal radiation before fading away entirely. Are you ready for the strangest of all Chupacabra encounters? According to paranormal researcher Nick Redfern, there are no less than 11 documented sightings of Chupacabra.
Teams in their respective corners for tonight's tag team contest. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu. Rey Mysterio, his shoulders down. This might do it. And he kicks out at 2.
He's still in the fight, but for how much longer?
A similar creature was spotted.
He's able to dodge out of the way.
However, the name
Jacob Fatu sending a clear message here.
A great display of confidence, but he doesn't want to give his opponent added motivation.
In one case, even a strange-looking fish was called Chupacabra.
What's Jacob Fatu's intentions here?
Down with a DDT. This spells trouble for McDonough and straight into the pin attempt.
That will end it.
Chupacabra's victims. So, is the Chupacabra a canine, a
Here are your
reptile,
winners,
a bird?
the team of Jacob Fatu,
The sightings of this creature vary widely, although all accounts share one crucial element, a monster with a thirst for blood. In the early 1700s,
What are we thinking
the
about
Leeds
here?
family
Let's see.
lived in the Pine Barrens of southern New Jersey. Deborah Leeds, otherwise known as Mother Leeds, had given birth to 12 children and was simply exhausted with pregnancy. Upon becoming impregnated with her 13th child, in a moment of anger and
Teams are in their respective corners for this tag match. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And across the ring, the team they're ready to face off with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
You know this is is a tough match for superstars who don't play well with others. You really need to find a way to properly mix your skills with your partners.
His legs became hooves.
And look at this.
DDT!
This spells trouble for McDonald. Turning it into the pin.
2. On a win. Wow, he's going to celebrate all night long.
The child beat everyone with his tail.
Here are your winners.
Flying up the
The
chimney.
team of Jacob Fatu.
Some people have hypothesized that the entire legend of the Jersey Devil was fabricated by Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin's rival in the almanac business was Daniel Leeds, husband of Deborah Leeds. In 1687, Mr. Leeds was ostracized by the local community of the Pine Barrens, who were primarily Quakers, for publishing occult works and almanacs that contained astrology, angelology.
Here we go with the tag matchup the WWE Universe has been salivating for. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. Then the opposing team is, of course, filled with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
This match can very well come down to its...
What's Jacob Fatu's intentions here? Jacob about to end this fight. Going through the ring. Not letting up.
Oh, my, that was close. Within inches of victory, only to have it snatched away.
This match just keeps getting more and more exciting.
And there needs to be a refocus now. That was the moment that could have ended things. A moment that's being replayed in their heads right now. Looking for the victory. 2. Oh, finally monumental victory.
When Franklin used astrology in his almanac,
Here are your winners. The team of Jacob Fatu.
though Franklin's prediction was intended as a joke, Titan Leeds did not find it funny and was offended at the death prediction. Titan Leeds publicly called Franklin a fool and a liar. In a published
Here we
response,
go, here we
Franklin
go.
mocked Titan Leeds' anger and joked that, in fact, Titan Leeds had died on the date of the earlier prediction and was writing his almanacs as a ghost to haunt and torment Franklin. Franklin continued to mock Titan
And ladies and
Leeds
gentlemen, it's time for a little tag team warfare. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And across from them, they will be squaring off with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
Quick tags and staying fresh are imperative in a tag match. The question is, which duo has the better teamwork to stick to that strategy?
Able to capitalize on Jacob Fatu's mistake.
This would be a tidy explanation.
Wicked driver.
1817, Napoleon Bonaparte's brother, Joseph Bonaparte, moved
Oh, he scattered that one. Big
Big
headbutt. Headbutt, 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 headbutt. Just bludgeoning their opponent. And with an onslaught of strikes like that, it's clear they have nothing but punishment on their mind.
What a shot. JD cut open, but we've seen before that the Irish ace doesn't mind at all.
Joseph went into exile in America.
Sent right into the corner.
800 acres in Bordentown, New Jersey.
Oh, look at this aggression in the corner. Yeah, on the throat in the corner.
That's going to be a moment you want to forget it very soon.
Latest news from both France and Spain. One snowy afternoon, the ex-king of Spain was in his house when he spotted some strange tracks on the ground. They looked like the tracks of a two-footed donkey.
Being placed onto the top rope.
Noticed that one foot was slightly
Positioning their opponent on the top turnbuckle.
abruptly as if the creature had flown away.
High-risk offense. That wasn't just a move. That was a statement.
At that moment, Bonaparte heard a strange hissing.
That's using your head.
Turning, he found himself face to face with a large winged creature.
Enough is enough. Over and over.
So much aggression, showing absolutely no mercy at all. What an onslaught.
Balor possibly being reminded there that it will take a lot more to
Set up for a second time.
Swings.
Finn's chances are fading. Cashing in on that effort.
Raise the roof! He's got the victory!
Claimed encounters with the Jersey Devil from all over the state.
Oh, that took way longer than expected.
And a social club in Camden. The police in Camden and Bristol, Pennsylvania, reported to these sightings and fired on the creature, to no effect. A large cash reward of $10,000 was offered for the creature's capture. This search for the monster amounted to nothing but hilarious hoax attempts to get the prize money. One man was desperate enough to glue fake wings and claws onto a kangaroo in an attempt to pass it off as the Jersey Devil. In 1937...
And here we go with tag team rules in effect. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And standing across from them, it's a very tough test with J.D. McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
It is going to be all about teamwork and partnership here tonight. What's JD in for? What a DDT!
This spells trouble for McDonough. Beautiful. Right into the cover.
Makes the save, and they continue this match.
Hunting for the monster. However, the men were unable to track it down. The blue hole is located deep in the pine barrens of Winfield, on the border of Camden.
Oh, going right into the pin.
And there's the win! Huge win here tonight!
Stop, the Jersey Devil.
Here are your winners. The team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate.
Although the water was crystal clear, there are no signs of life in the hole whatsoever. No fish, no insects, nothing. There is something unsettling about this void, making it easy to imagine why people might warn their children not to venture into these waters. According to unconfirmed reports, several people may have drowned or otherwise died in this lake for unknown reasons. The Jersey Devil is blamed for their murder. Suspecting this lake...
Here we go with quite the tag team matchup in store. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And on the other side of the ring, they are facing off with J.D. McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
These teams have built up lots of animosity towards each other, and now they have finally reached a tipping point. Jacob Fatu's intentions here. DDT delivered. Jacob about to end this fight.
There's two. And finally, he picks up the victory.
Based on rabbits infected with papillomavirus,
The team of Jacob Fatu.
to grow out of their heads. Could this be what inspired the original tales of the jackalope? Does it matter either way? Many Native American tribes have legends of the Thunderbird, a powerful nature spirit which takes the form of a gigantic bird, which is capable of causing storms by merely flapping its wings. Some scientists speculate that these legends could have been inspired by Native Americans discovering the fossilized remains.
And here we go with this tag team matchup. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And this is sure to be a barn burner of a tag match in this encounter with J.D. McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
And what's Jacob Fatu's intentions here? Absolutely spot DDT.
This spells trouble for McDonough.
2 count.
There have been many Thunderbird sightings in recorded history as well. This string of encounters began
Incredible.
in Alton, Illinois. An Army colonel...
And now going for the victory.
Is this it?
That'll do it. The victory tonight.
Quote, I thought there was something wrong with my eyesight.
Here are your winners.
But it was most
The team
definitely
of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and
and from the movement of the object and its size, I figured it had to be a bird of tremendous size, end quote. This is the testimony that Colonel Sigmund later gave to the local newspaper. This is also a good case with a trained observer as a witness. Like I said, this case would soon be printed in local newspapers along with many other Thunderbird sightings that followed. Colonel Sigmund's encounter was also recorded in the United States Air Force's
Time to test how well these superstars work together. It's a good old tag team match. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. Then the opposing team is, of course, filled with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
Hard to decide what team has the advantage here. It'll probably come down to who can cut the ring in half the best, who can control the pace.
Some sort of investigation obviously should be made.
He has a hold of JD.
DDT! Did Jacob Fatu get enough of it? Cover! Cover! Cover!
Major win! That'll change his career tonight!
Feature large collections of newspaper articles.
Here are your
But
winners.
this one does not.
The team of Jacob Fatu.
About this, which I'll continue to show on screen. The Air Force also neglected to interview Colonel Sigmund or the following witnesses. On Tuesday, April 6th, 2 more witnesses saw the bird on the opposite end of the state. Robert Price of Caledonia, Illinois, reported seeing a bird, quote, "A bird as big as an airplane," end quote.
Superstars in their respective corners now for this tag team match. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And across the ring, the team they're ready to face off with: JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
This match could very well. He has a hold of JD.
And looking at Jacob Fatu. DDT!
Jacob about to end this fight.
And falling to the cover. Might be in trouble. That will end it.
The very next day, April 10th,
Here are your winners. The team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett.
that a large bird cast a shadow, quote, "as big as a Piper Cub from 500 feet up," end quote. The Piper Cub was one of the most common aircrafts at the time and was over 22 feet long with a wingspan of over 35 feet. Other witnesses maintained that the birds were as large as small airplanes, far larger than any normal eagle. It was at this time that the original witness, Colonel Sigmund.
And we are locked and loaded for this tag team matchup. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And we'll see if they're prepared for tag team action as they go head-to-head with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
And communication for these teams is going to be key in this one. And I think we just might see DDT.
This spells trouble for McDonough.
They're ready to get broken up because they go away. Oh no.
He's gotten the victory!
Birds then began flying towards him in a tight wingtip to wingtip
Here are your
formation.
winners.
Chasing
The team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett.
his mother, Ruth, noticed that her son was under attack and ran to Marlon's aid. The larger of the 2 birds sunk their claws into his shirt, fully lifting the boy off of the ground. The Thunderbird carried Marlon roughly 35 feet while being chased by Ruth before dropping Marlon. In addition to Ruth and Marlon Lowe, multiple neighbors also witnessed this encounter. Ruth Lowe was quoted as saying, "It had a white ring around its half-foot-long neck. The rest of the body was very black. The bird's bill was 6 inches in length and hooked at the end. The claws on the feet were arranged with 3 front, 1 in the back. Each wing, less the body, was 4 feet at the very
Putting
least.
teamwork to the test in this match under traditional tag rules. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And they'll have their work cooperating cut out for them here, dealing with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
And there is a lot of animosity growing between these teams. I expect all 4 competitors to throw comments.
Oh, here it comes.
Down with a DDT.
Did Jacob Fatu get enough of it?
Wasting no time. Shoulders are down. And there's the win. Huge win here
watching in the library.
Here are your winners, the team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio.
Andean condors are native to South America, not Illinois. Andean condors are among the largest birds of flight, have a wingspan surpassing 10 feet, and share the white ring around the neck of the birds that preyed upon marlin. Others speculate that this was the work of a turkey vulture or a black vulture. However, both birds are smaller than what was described.
Here we go with the tag matchup the WWE Universe has been salivating for. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And in the other corner, they will be dealing with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
We have to be expecting a frenetic pace in this matchup. These teams...
What's Jacob Fatu's intentions here?
Did Jacob Fatu get enough of it? This has to be it.
Two. Man, that has got to feel good. Sweet, sweet victory.
1977, and Lake
Here are your winners, the team of Jacob Fatu.
captured this footage of two possible Thunderbirds. Huffer described the birds as huge, all black, and with leathery faces. According to experts, this creature is 3 to 4 times larger than a turkey vulture, which again was a suspect for the Lawndale, Illinois sighting. Patrick Reddick, the director of the Raptor Center at the University of Minnesota, said it looks too broad to be a turkey vulture and too long to be an eel, and that it seems to be more alike to a condor.
And we are locked and loaded for this tag team matchup. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. They've got their hands full across the ring with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
Both sides of this match know that tag team competition is a very specific, very unique art form. We're going to see just who will be the better team here tonight.
Meaning, they're likely...
What's Jacob Fatu's intentions here?
Implanted by the DDT. Did Jacob Fatu get enough of it?
Two. Oh, he got it. What a win.
These giant birds have been reported in Alaska by pilots flying between Juneau
Here are your
and
winners, the team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio.
consistently describing a bird the size of a small airplane. In fact, there have been sightings of this bird as recently as 2018. In October of 2002, residents of 2 Alaskan towns were reporting sightings of a bird said to be, quote, the size of a small otter plane, end quote. Witnesses judged that it had a 14-foot wingspan.
Tag team matchup where a team's cohesion is put to the ultimate test. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. But they will be facing some fierce tag team action with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
These teams have scouted each other very well. He has a hold of JD.
And looking at Jacob Fatu.
DDT. This spells trouble for McDonough. Looking for the pin, but was that enough?
2 count.
That's when I noticed that it wasn't a plane. He was concerned enough about the monstrous bird that he radioed to the village alerting officials about what he had seen and advising that children be
And
kept
right away to the pin. 2. Finally, it's over.
Identified stellar sea eagles, which could have flown to Alaska from Asia.
Here are your winners,
Even then,
the team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio.
what witnesses reported. Sightings of enormous birds in New Mexico, Alaska, Texas, and Pennsylvania have been reported in recent years. Is it possible that a gigantic species of bird exists, and one that sometimes preys upon humans? Could these be sightings of remnant populations of long extinct birds, such as Argentavis or Territornis?
Time to put these teams to the test in this one, under traditional tag rules. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. Now they will be facing some fierce tag team action. JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
And communication for these teams is going to be key in this one. A complete what's JD in for?
This spells trouble for McDonough.
Directly into the cover.
The damage is done.
Man, that was such a long and hard-fought match. He earned that victory.
Recorded among the Sherpa.
Here are your winners, the team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio.
Fur, which only appears white due to being covered in snow. In 1925, a Greek photographer and geologist named N.A. Tombazi took part in a British geological expedition to explore the Himalayas. At 15,000 feet up, Tombazi witnessed something strange. He stated, quote, "Unquestionably, the figure in outline was exactly like a human being, walking upright."
Superstars in their respective corners now for this tag team match. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And across the ring, the team they're ready to face off with: JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
And there is a lot of animosity growing between these teams. I expect...
What's Jacob Fatu's intentions here?
DDT plants that.
This spells trouble for McDonough. Beautiful transition.
And now the cover. And finally, he picks up the victory.
Is a traveling hermit. However,
Here are your
the
winners,
traveling hermit
the team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate Warrior.
expedition was led by Edmund Hillary and Eric Shipton. They aimed to establish feasible routes to reach the top of Mount Everest. While on the Menlung Glacier, at an elevation of 1,900 feet, his team came upon a path of strange footprints. The prints were 13 inches long and 8 inches wide. Shipton photographed the most well-defined of these footprints and also the trackway itself.
These teams are ready to test each other in this tag team matchup. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And they'll be in for one hell of a tag team match as they square up with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
This match could very well come down to experience.
And here we go. Connecting on the DDT.
This spells trouble for McDonough, and then quickly the cover.
He made the save just in time.
Yeti relics held in high regard by the Sherpa. There are some legends of monks conversing with the Yeti.
Down with the Samoan drop.
Involving a monk teaching a Yeti some aspects of...
And staying with it, into the cover.
Two. It's over. It is over.
They may believe. According to members of the Pang Bosch...
Here are your winners, the team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the
The monk came back to find that the Yeti was dead. He collected the hand and scalp and took them back to the monastery. The Bang Bosch hand was treated as a ritual object that was connected to the luck and safety of the monastery, and the monks believed
Actually,
that its theft could bring their
let's
downfall.
just check
However,
something.
this didn't stop mountain climber Peter Byrne from smuggling the Yeti finger out of the country with some help from his friend, the actor James Stewart. In 1958, Byrne smuggled the bones from Nepal into India, after which actor James Stewart allegedly smuggled the hand out of the country in his luggage, bypassing security by hiding it among his wife's undergarments. The complete hand was stolen in the early 1990s. In December 2011, a genetic study found the Yeti hand to be of
It's
human
only 108 grand more.
Proponents of the Yeti use this to suggest that the Yeti and perhaps Sasquatch are very closely genetically linked
Yeah, I'm
to
gonna
humans
get
and could be some sort of
MP
offshoot
back
of
for the
Homo
bonus
sapiens,
pack.
not unlike Neanderthals and Denisovans. Other monasteries monasteries in the region also have Yeti relics which serve similar purposes. For example, a Yeti skull cap housed at the Kumjung Monastery. Studies on the alleged Yeti scalp found it to be made from the hide of a Himalayan goat sero. However, it is possible that the Yeti scalp which was submitted for testing was not the original, because again, the Sherpa are very wary of giving up religious artifacts to Westerners, and not without reason. On October 3rd, 2017, the National Archives Museum released a 1959 State Department memo officially titled Foreign Service Dispatch 75 from the American Embassy, Kathmandu, regarding regulations governing mountain climbing expeditions in Nepal relating to Yeti.
Wondering if there was someone
The
with just...
regulations outlined by the government of Nepal in this document included a requirement to pay the government of Nepal for a permit 5,000 rupees, roughly $1,100 in today's currency. They were urged to photograph or capture the Yeti, but not kill it, and to turn over to government agents of Nepal any photos or information of Yeti sightings. The document states that if any evidence of the Yeti's existence was discovered,
let me chill
it
for a
was to be
sec.
given to the government and not disclosed to the press or the public. I wonder how many similar secret agreements have been made, and how many are active today, suppressing evidence of the unknown. Could certain governments have a vested interest in suppressing the existence of cryptids? April 9th, 2019. An Indian Army mountaineer expedition set out to Mount Makalu, the 5th tallest mountain in the world, and only 12 miles south of Everest. Near the Mount Makalu base camp, the military discovered an inexplicable set of footprints. The footprints were 32 inches by 15 inches, much larger than a normal human footprint. The Indian Army has sent their findings to be examined by scientists, and they are quite adamant that this will prove the existence of the Yeti. The Dover Demon. In Dover, Massachusetts, April 21st, 1977, around 10:30, 17-year-old William Bartlett was driving his Volkswagen with his friends Mike Mazzocco and Andy Brody when they encountered the demon. Bartlett's headlights shone on a small figure which he first thought was just a small animal, but he soon realized it was nothing he'd ever seen before. The creature was, quote, standing on a wall, its eyes glowing in the headlights. It was not a dog or a cat. It had no tail. It had an egg or watermelon-shaped head, end quote. The quadruped demon had gray skin, orange eyes, thin, spindly limbs, and tendril-like fingers which wrapped around the stones of the wall. After only a few seconds, the creature fled from the broken stone wall. Bartlett described the figure as more human-like in its form than animal. Its shape reminded him of kids with distended bellies, he said. Quote, I've always tried to guess what it was. I never had any idea, end quote. Bartlett's friends were not quick enough to see the creature. They only saw Bartlett's horrified reaction to the creature. Roughly 2 hours later, 15-year-old John Baxter was walking his girlfriend home. After dropping her off, he began walking back home when he too encountered the demon. He spotted a short, shadowy silhouette in the distance walking towards him. Baxter thought the short figure was one of his friends, so he called out, but to no response. Baxter and the figure continued to approach each other until the silhouette stopped in its tracks. Baxter too stopped and called out again, saying, "Who is that?" As he took another step forward to get a closer look, the figure ran away from him, running down a slope. Baxter followed the creature down the slope eventually finding it crouched on top of a rock, with its feet, quote, molded to the top. He would later say that the creature he saw reminded him of a monkey, but with a figure 8 shaped head. John would later tell investigators, "You know, what is this? A monkey, maybe?" As I was looking really close there, I could see the eyes. It was looking at me. I just stared at it for a few minutes. End quote. Soon, John began to feel very uncomfortable. I got feelings that it was thinking to itself, or waiting
Alright,
to spring,
so
or
our goal
whatever,
is we
you
need
know?
Austin.
And so I backed up to the bank kind of
And
fast,
we're
and my heart started beating really fast. End quote.
We've still got 9 days.
Baxter was naturally unnerved by what he saw, and soon ran
I'm
away
hoping
from
to
the
pop me
creature.
out of the 10 pack,
He
but
was
then we...
eventually picked up by a couple on the road, who noticed how frightened the 15-year-old was and drove him home. At midnight the next night, Will Tainter was driving Abby Brabham home when the two 15-year-olds saw something in the vehicle's headlights. On the left side of the road, there was a hairless creature, down on all 4 limbs, facing the vehicle. The body was lanky, and it had a large, oversized, oval-shaped head, and its eyes glowed green. Quote, "As I looked at it, it kind of looked a minute like an ape," she claimed. "And then I looked at the head, and the head was very big, and it was a very weird head. It had bright green eyes, and the eyes just glowed like they were just looking exactly at me." Abby went on to mention that she assumed the creature's eyes might have been reflecting the car's headlights. She described it as having a tan, hairless body and a watermelon-shaped head that was featureless. "That thing has haunted me for 29 years, said Carl Sheridan, a former police chief. "I knew the kids involved. They were good kids, pretty reliable kids. God only knows what they saw. I still don't know. Strange things have happened. The whole thing was unusual." Both Baxter and Bartlett drew sketches of the Dover Demon for the local newspapers and for the police. Years later,
sure there's nobody better.
At 46 years old, Bartlett was interviewed again and was quoted as saying, "In a lot of ways, it's kind of embarrassing to me. I definitely saw something. It was definitely weird. I didn't make it up. Sometimes I wish I had. I really do wish that I made it up. I might have profited from it. It's a great story." The skeptic's explanation of this incident was that the teens saw a baby moose. Only 2 moose were reported in Massachusetts in 1977 and 78, both of them in central Massachusetts. A yearling moose by that time in April would weigh more than 600 pounds and would be, quote, bigger than the Volkswagen Bartlett was in, end quote. In a 25-hour period, multiple individuals all claimed to have seen the same being, and in all the time since, it has never been seen again. The locations of the sightings, when plotted, lay in a straight line over 2 miles. All of the sightings were made near water, suggesting that this could be some sort of water-dwelling creature, perhaps. Yumibozu. In Japanese mythology, the Yumibozu, which can translate into sea monk, is a yokai, a creature of Japanese folklore. The Yumibozu is supposed to live on the high seas, where he captures the boats of sinners and drowns those who dare speak to him. Another tradition says that Yumibozu caused storms on the last day of the year. The fishermen, therefore, did not go to sea during this period. Descriptions of Yumibozu vary greatly depending on the source. He is most commonly depicted as a dark-skinned humanoid creature with an enormous round bald head, reminiscent of the shaved head of Buddhist monks. He would also have huge eyes which glowed in the dark. This type of Yumibozu can change in size and take on colossal proportions, allowing it to rise more than 10 meters above sea level. Other legends describe the Yumibozu as an old man with a very normal appearance.
And this is sure to be a hard-hitting tag team battle. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And across from them, they will be squaring off with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
Quick tags and staying fresh are imperative in a tag match. What's JD in for?
DDT! Did Jacob Fatu get enough of it? Taking advantage of the opportunity. There too. Finally got him. I can't believe this match is finally over.
The first recorded Mothman sighting took place on November 12, 1966. 5 men were in a cemetery preparing a grave for burial.
I don't know whether
when
we
they
go.
saw something that they couldn't explain. They all witnessed a brown, winged humanoid watching them from the trees. When the men realized that they were being watched, the creature took to the skies.
I don't know, there's just something in my guts that's saying a 10 box is the way to go with this one.
Kind, and then it was shaped more like a human than anything else.
And here we go, a lot of superstars involved in this matchup. Each team is going to look for their competition's weakness.
The weakest link on a team will certainly be exposed. A team would be smart to identify their own weaknesses and keep that superstar out of the fight. Boom!
He recalled his television making a high-pitched whine sound, and that his dog had began to bark.
What's Jacob Fatu's intentions here?
DDT! This spells trouble for McDonough. Going right into the pin attempt.
And got the win. That is a huge win.
Flashing red light.
Here are your winners, the team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade.
In 1561, an unusual event occurred over Nuremberg. Witnesses reported seeing a vast array of objects in the sky, described as spheres, discs, and cylinders engaged in a battle-like formation. Some accounts mention smoke, fire, and strange colors, all being seen at this phenomenon. It lasted for about an hour, leaving many people bewildered and frightened. Despite various theories, the causes of the celestial event remain a mystery.
Teams are in their respective corners for this tag match. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And standing across from them, it's a very tough test with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
Both sides in this match know that tag team competition is a very specific, Jacob's playing something here.
About to end this fight.
I think that's it. That must be it. Victory and wins.
The woman forgot about the egg until her mother found it while they were cleaning. The internet was amazed by the discovery, with some calling it a Pharaoh egg. Mrs. Fu speculated that the cold, dry winter conditions might have helped preserve the egg, but experts
Grabbing the win in this one is a serious accomplishment.
Love them or hate them, you know they did everything.
About the strange, mysterious, and bizarre cryptids of North America. So grab a seat, have your favorite drink, and let's begin. The Dundas Island black fly, often referred to as the flesh-eating fly, is a legendary insect believed to inhabit Dundas Island in Canada. These enormous flies can grow to an alarming size of about 5 to 6 inches in length.
Time to test how all these superstars work together. It's a good old tag team match. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And this is sure to be a barn burner of a tag match in this encounter with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
We have to be expecting a frenetic pace and he has a hold of JD.
DDT! Is that all she wrote for McDonough?
That'll do it! The victory tonight!
The Ponic is a legendary creature said to inhabit Canada with over 1,000 reported sightings. Witnesses provide various descriptions of the monster, typically portraying it as a long creature measuring between 35 and 60 feet. Common features include 2 or 3 prominent humps, a sail-like structure running along its spine, flippers, a barrel-shaped neck, and a horse-like head. Speculation about the Ponic's identity ranges widely.
And here we go with this tag team matchup. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. Then the opposing team is, of course, filled with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
You know this is a tough match for superstars who don't play well with others. You really need to find a way to properly mix your skills with your partners.
British Columbia's giant ravens are enigmatic birds featured in the
this could be something.
described as being
Down by the DDT. This spells trouble for McDonough.
Transitions into the pen. Is this it? There's 2. But now we see Balor.
predators. According to local tales, they are notorious for raiding campsites, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake.
Take it over.
Going for the win here.
British Columbia
Able to turn it into a cover of their own. Shoulders down.
abundant in the timber where these massive ravens are said to reside.
He did it. He did it.
Existence. Interestingly, dwarf red-tailed hawks, which can sometimes be mistaken for ravens from a distance, inhabit the same geographic range.
That was a bit rough, that one.
Caprosaurus, or caddy, is a legendary sea serpent in the folklore of the Pacific coast of North America.
Crap.
Named after Cadborough Bay in Greater Victoria, British Columbia, its name combines saurus, meaning lizard in Greek. Witnesses describe caddy as resembling a serpent with vertical coils or humps, a horse-like head, and a long neck. It has small front flippers.
Putting teamwork to the test in this match under traditional tag rules. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And we'll see if they're prepared for tag team action as they go head-to-head with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
It is going to be all about...
Here's all to JD.
DDT. Wow.
This spells trouble for
Oh, this might get broken up.
Shoulders down for the win.
Features rather than a single one.
Turns that in his favor.
This creature is a mysterious.
He's got Jacob here.
Said to inhabit
Standing Spanish fly. Are you kidding me?
Incredible.
Metallic screech have left those who heard it terrified, as the sound is chilling and disconcerting. Proximity to the screecher can lead to physical reactions, including painful throbbing in the head, nosebleeds, nausea, and vomiting. The creature is known to lead incredible downdraft, which can cause skin irritations.
Immediate cover after the impact. 2 count. It is out. Finally, it's over.
Exposure may result in significant skin peeling, profuse bleeding, and scarring.
Here are your winners.
Despite numerous
The
reports
team
of its
of
presence,
Jacob
the
Fatu.
screecher has yet to be captured on film.
JD's getting a
and
little
there have
cocky
been no
now.
confirmed encounters in recent years. However,
That was
since
my
2018,
stuff up. It's alright. I'm just here
sightings
to
have been
chill
reported in
anyway,
areas
so...
beyond Quebec, including New Brunswick and as far as Nova Scotia, indicating that the creature's range may be broader than initially thought. Matlox is a legendary giant akin to Bigfoot, prevalent in the folklore of Western Canada.
Superstars in their respective corners now for this tag team match. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And in the other corner, they will be dealing with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
These teams have scouted each other very well. They probably identified the weak arm for the home run. Oh, man, this might be it.
There's 2. Guys, he put him away. That's a pretty big win.
Of whom all have an unbelievable terror. They imagine
Here are
his
your
body
winners.
is very monstrous.
The team
and
of
covered in
Jacob Fatu.
a head similar to a human one, but with much greater, sharper, and stronger fangs than those of the bear. Extremely long arms, and toes and fingers armed with long, curved claws. His shouts alone, they say, force those who hear them to the ground, and any unfortunate body he slaps is broken into 1,000 pieces. The story of Jacko, a small, ape-like Sasquatch, allegedly...
Here we go with the tag matchup the WWE Universe has been salivating for. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. They've got their hands full across the ring with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
These teams have built up lots of animosity towards each other.
Time to end this. This spells trouble for McDonough.
And right into the cover.
Might end this.
He wins! He wins!
The narrative gained traction after being included in Ivan T.
Here are your winners.
1961
The team of Jacob Fatu.
legend come to life and was repeated by various authors, solidifying its place in cryptid lore. Green later found microfilms of 1880s newspapers at the University of British Columbia, revealing critical articles that expressed skepticism about Jacko's existence. One article noted, no such animal was caught, while another reported that a crowd came to see Jacko, only to find the jailer as the only wild man.
And here we go with tag team rules in effect. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And they'll have their work cooperating cut out for them here, dealing with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
And trust what's Jacob Fatu's intentions here.
Lights out. DDT connects. Did Jacob Fatu get enough of it?
Transition to the
Is it enough?
and that'll do it. It's finally over with the win.
Locals have likened it to a
Here are
giant
your winners.
ground sloth.
The team of Jacob Fatu.
A notable sighting occurred in 1989 when Dawn Charlie reported an encounter from Violet Johnny, who saw an 8 to 9 foot tall creature while fishing at Tatchin Lake. In a panic, Johnny and her family fled after firing shots over the creature's head. Other reports suggest
Alright,
that a
we're
white
slowly
man shot a
getting there.
saitochin in a nearby lake, with these creatures said to inhabit the mountainous areas east of Frenchman Lake. While natives associated the saitochin with giant ground sloths, which were herbivores and believed to be extinct.
These teams are ready to test each other in this tag team matchup. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. Then the opposing team is of course
one of
filled
those
with
matches
JD
nice,
McDonough, Finn Balor,
Cool.
Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
Quick tags and staying fresh are imperative in a tag match. The question is, which duo has the better teamwork to stick to that strategy?
Not sure if he should waste all his time hot-dogging around.
Creatures, much like Australian Aboriginal
What's
stories.
JD in for? Spiked. Jacob about to end this fight.
Is it enough? Is this the end? Two. Save made by the teammate.
Not a moment too soon.
Originates from a story published in 1908 by French writer Georges Dupuis.
Samoan
This
drop.
tale recounts two alleged encounters with a medium-sized theropod dinosaur.
Cashing in on that effort.
2K. And that will end it.
Presented as a true account in the newspaper, many have labeled it as fictional.
Here are your
Nevertheless,
winners.
similar
The
sightings
team
have
of
been reported
Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio.
in Siberia and a lone sighting in Fairbanks, Alaska. The creature is described as resembling a ceratosaurid, a family of small to medium-sized carnivorous theropods known from the late Jurassic to early Cretaceous periods, recognizable for their prominent nasal horns. Dupuis illustrated the monster in a style typical of dinosaur depictions from that era, with a tail dragging behind it. He claimed that the creature left a massive imprint in the
Time to
mud,
test how well these superstars work together. It's a good old tag team match. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And standing across from them, it's a very tough test with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
And trust is key to victory in a match like this.
What's JD in for?
Lights out. DDT connects.
during the summer. Interestingly, the snow wasset is said to hibernate only in the warmest weather, when its fur takes on a green hue, allowing it to curl up and blend into the cranberry marshes. During the summer, it possesses rudimentary legs, allowing it to creep slowly and remain shaded. However, with the arrival of the first snowstorm, the wasset sheds its legs and becomes adept at moving through the snow, using this method to ambush burrowing grouse, crouching rabbits.
And it is finally time for some good old tag team action. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. They've got their hands full across the ring with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
These teams have scouted each other very well. They've probably identified the weak link in their opposition. Jacob's planning something here. Did Jacob Fatu get enough of it? There it is.
Now the pin. And picks up a monumental victory.
Creature is a challenge, as its body can extend
Here are your winners,
direction.
the team of Jacob Fatu.
Deadfalls that drop logs from multiple sides toward the bait, ensuring it is pinned under the snow. Mussy is an alleged sea monster said to inhabit Muskrat Lake, located about 75 miles northwest of Ottawa, Ontario. The legend surrounding Mussy has evolved over the years, and it remains unclear whether it is a singular creature or a species.
Teams in their respective corners for tonight's tag team contest. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And across the ring, the team they're ready to face off with: JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito. And communication for these teams. Are we about to see it? And looking at Jacob Fatu.
Did Jacob Fatu get enough of it?
Could that be enough?
For the win. And that'll finally do it. What a victory.
Has helped collect witness accounts.
Excuse me.
As an unknown type of marine mammal resembling traits of seals or walruses. Local folklore suggests that the legend of Mussy may trace back to when explorer Samuel de Champlain visited the area over 300 years ago. He reportedly learned of a legendary creature from local Native Americans, although there is no direct reference to Mussy in Champlain's memoirs. The myth was perpetuated by a sign that once welcomed visitors to Cobden, showing Champlain holding his famous lost astrolabe while gazing over Muskrat Lake.
Here we go with the tag matchup the WWE Universe has been salivating for. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob. Nice takedown.
This little push is like shit move.
And now a winner their own.
Early kick out, referee right on top of the action. Wow. Oh, perfect kick.
Jacob Fatu sending a clear message here.
Canada, over a span of 60
He can be enjoying the moment too much, giving his opponent a lot of room to recover.
witnesses closely resemble those of Sasquatch.
Jacob's planning something here.
With a DDT.
This spells trouble for McDonough.
That might have put it away. Two. And that may be one of the biggest wins in his career.
The founding year of the Silver Boomtown.
Here are your winners, the team of Jacob Fatu.
Experienced woodsman J.A. Macaulay and Lorne Wilson encountered the creature while taking test samples of their mining claims. Initially mistaken for a bear, the creature stood up, growled, and fled into the night after Wilson threw a stone at it. Wilson noted its yellow head and black fur, unlike any bear he had seen. Another sighting occurred in April 1947 when a woman and her young son encountered the creature near railway tracks.
Look at the amount of superstars around the ring. This one is to be a real spectacle.
Yeah, just look at the determined look on each superstar's face. There's going to be no shortage of excitement watching these teams battle it out.
I've got to stop hitting him too early.
Was on August 4,
And again in the other direction.
27 miners from Cobalt Lode Mine encountered the creature while driving down a road. Initially mistaken for a bear, it had light reddish hair reaching down to its shoulders, contrasting...
Not sure if he should waste all his time hot-dogging around.
The encounter left the miners shaken, with one admitting uncertainty about their disbelief in the creature's existence.
What a headbutt!
Also,
he has a hold of JD.
What a DDT!
Did Jacob Fatu get enough of it?
Going for the win, not letting up.
He breaks the pen, keeping his team in this one.
Large creature in these waters. Great Slave Lake is not only the ninth largest lake globally, but also the deepest in North America.
And coming out for the match, 2.
The lake stretches
An exhausting match, but a victory he'll savor forever.
miles at its widest point.
Here are your
Legends
winners.
of an unknown
The
creature,
team of
old slavey, have persisted for many years. Travelers across the lake have reported incidents of their boats striking unseen objects beneath the surface in depths exceeding 300 feet. These encounters often include sightings of large humps in the water, initially mistaken for rocks, before disappearing beneath the surface. In the mid-1990s, during a recovery operation for a man who had fallen through the ice, 2 of the 3 divers claimed to have
Superstars in their respective corners now for this tag team match. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade
Again, I'm
Barrett,
hitting
and
too
Ultimate Warrior. They will be facing some fierce tag team action. JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
Both sides in this match know the tag team competition is a very specific, very unique art. We're going to see just who will be the better team here tonight.
Oh, my goodness.
He reached out to the local newspaper, the Yellow Viper, asking anyone who might have seen the same creature to contact
What's
them.
Jacob Fatu's intentions here? This spells trouble for McDonough.
Quickly transition, shoulders to down. On a win. Wow, he's going to celebrate all night long.
Also known as the Alaska Glowing Kaiju.
Here are your
You
winners.
can tell I'm getting tired.
Despite its Canadian roots, most information about this creature appears in Japanese literature. It is described as a stocky, horned creature measuring around 8 meters long, with a horse-like head and a bear-like body. Its most striking feature is its luminous body, with reports describing its glow in various colors, including rainbow, white, orange, and green. The first
Fellas, Rock and these teams are ready for action here.
This is a match that takes a lot of cooperation with your teammates. One weak link in your chain, your team is in serious risk of losing.
The chief warned that a sacred beast, seen only once a year, had been spotted. The chief believed that outsiders could disrupt the good fortune associated with the creature. In 1939,
What's Jacob
a Canadian
Fatu's intentions
plane
here?
crashed in a
Implanted by the DDT. This spells trouble for McDonough.
Taking advantage of the opportunity. He makes the save.
Better late than never.
The next morning, they discovered a trampled branch and an enormous round footprint, measuring 90 centimeters in diameter and 30 centimeters deep.
Oh, going right into the pin.
Officials of the Yukon River spotted a mountain
Picking up the victory as his opponent does his best. Saxton stares up at the lights.
luminescence.
Here are your winners.
Some believe you can
The team of
may be
Jacob
identical to
Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate.
the timing of their introductions raises questions, as Yukon was mentioned in Japanese literature before the Yukon Beaver Eater, suggesting it could be an inspired creation or a variation of the same legend. The goo, commonly referred to as the Yukon giant worm, is a fascinating cryptid invertebrate said to inhabit the St. Elias Mountains in the Yukon Territory of Canada. According to accounts from the southern Tuchone people, these enormous worm-like creatures can reach lengths comparable to bears. and
Tag
are
team matchup where a
characterized by their
team's
dark,
cohesion is put to the
lack
ultimate
of
test.
coloration.
Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu,
And
Rey
two lights, that's
Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And on the other side of the ring, they are facing off with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
It is going to be all about teamwork and partnership here tonight. Who will be the better team? Who will have the better chemistry? I personally cannot wait to find out.
A great display of confidence, but he doesn't want to give his opponent added motivation.
Hanging from a tree branch.
Uh-oh, we know what's next. DDT the winner. Is that all she wrote for McDonough?
An exhausting victory, but a win nonetheless.
Emerging from a significant hole in the ground.
Here are your winners.
Which he asserted
The team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate
The Gur is primarily thought to be arboreal, favoring trees and holes near glacial regions, and its behavior remains largely elusive, with sightings occurring infrequently and often shrouded in mystery. Witnesses describe the Gur as formidable creatures capable of consuming foliage and demonstrating a degree of intelligence. Cold Lake, one of Alberta's largest and
this is sure to be a hard-hitting tag team battle. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And they'll be in for one hell of a tag team match as they square up with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
These teams have built up lots of animosity towards each other, and now they have finally reached a tipping point.
All JD. Down by the DDT. This spells trouble for McDonough.
According to the tale, a young man paddling his canoe across the lake to visit a woman he wished to marry was attacked by a who bit his boat in two, leading to his
turning it into a pin for the win. Finally, monumental victory.
Kinosu, often called the Big Fish, is associated with various legends among the team.
Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the
rumored to have been swallowed whole by Kinosu. Another tale suggests Kinosu was killed when a bull elk swam across the lake and collided with him, leaving behind large bones found at Birch Point. Witnesses, including a Chippewayan hunting party in the mid-1800s, claim to have seen substantial bones that resembled those of a whale. Despite reports of Kinosu's demise, sightings have continued, with locals insisting the creature still exists. By 1930, people traveled across Canada to try to...
And these two are both starting things off for their respective teams. Referee's going to have their hands full in this one.
Yeah, it can be hard enough to get control of the situation in a standard 2-on-2 tag team match. Adding additional numbers for a match like this is just asking for chaos.
Impressive sizes, lending some credibility to the legend of Kinosu. The fetus lake monster,
Jacob's playing something here.
As the Canadian
Did Jacob Fatu get enough of it?
And a pinfall for the victory. Man, that was such a long and hard-fought match. He earned that victory.
By the Royal Canadian Mounted
Here are your
Police.
winners. The team of
Described as
Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate.
resembling a human lizard with a large head covered in barbed spikes. Just 4 days after the initial encounter, 2 men reported seeing the same creature swimming in the lake. They noted its silvery scales and observed that it
I just want to check something, because I seriously don't even think Randy's got decent badges, or none that'll help anyway.
One of the teenagers involved in the first sighting claimed to have been slashed on the hand by the creature. The descriptions emphasized its triangular shape.
No, nothing there that helps.
Combined with reptilian features. As the investigation progressed, the police received additional reports, including one from a man whose pet
nothing there that
an
helps.
aggressive species that can grow up to 4 feet long,
And nothing
had
there.
gone missing. Despite the police concluding that the tegu was likely the cause of the sightings, many locals remained convinced
So the cards that
the lake lizard
we're
man
all, what,
still
grinding or
resides in the
busting
lake.
our asses for or paying
In a
for,
twist
whatever
to
way
the
you're doing
story,
it,
Two of the four
This
witnesses
shit
later
is
claimed
no
their
decent
sightings
badges on
were
them, nothing.
hoaxes
But
aimed at gaining attention, leaving the authenticity of the remaining accounts in question. Sightings of similar creatures have been reported in various places across the United States, including Ohio, Delaware, Louisiana, and North Carolina, with some connections made to the chupacabra.
we all know how this
Additionally,
crap works.
Ida mythology from the Queen Charlotte Islands describes
Time to put these teams to the test in this one. Under traditional tag rules, competitors set for action.
Oh my.
As we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And they'll have their work cooperating cut out for them here, dealing with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
We have to be expecting a frenetic pace in this matchup. These teams stop for nothing. They are all go from bell to bell. Jacob's planning something here. DDT! This spells trouble for McDonough. This has to be it.
Two! That stops the count. What a save.
Among the community. Stacey Powers, an island resident, expressed the fear
Shoulders down. This could be
anyone
it.
who has family, has pets.
He breaks the ref's count after one.
This is where great cardio makes all the difference, helping you stay alive deep into the
And to
match.
capture the creature on video as it snatched it across the
Samoan drop.
illustrating its boldness in approaching home.
I think that's it. That must be it.
Since kept their pace
He did it!
and
He
ensured
did
their
it!
children stay close, wary of the potential threat.
Here are your winners.
Veterinarian Dr.
The team up. Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and
likely abandoned after being brought to the island. He noted they are a mixed-up species with instincts of a wolf, making them unpredictable and difficult to manage. The situation has escalated to the point where the municipality has set up a hotline, acquired a tranquilizer gun, and enlisted the help of professionals to capture the animal, which has already killed multiple dogs, cats, and sheep.
And ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a little tag team warfare. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And in the other corner, they will be dealing with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
Hard to decide what this could be big.
And looking at Jacob Fatu.
DDT! Did Jacob Fatu get enough of
Oh
it?
my god. Carlito again.
Two nurses in Kitchener-Makusim, Northern Ontario, stumbled upon an unusual animal on the lakeshore while walking there. The creature had a long, hairy body with bald patches on its
And
head.
quickly into the cover.
Might be in trouble.
He picks up the win.
While they took photos, the creature sparked speculation online.
here are your winners.
Observers suggested
The team up. Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and
the giant Canadian spider bat is an intriguing and unsettling creature reportedly sighted in a barn in southwest Canada. The witness, a local man, described it as resembling Mothman, but with spider-like features, specifically spider teeth and small white eyes. The creature is said to stand about 5 feet tall when crouched, appearing muscular and powerful.
These teams are ready to test each other in this tag team matchup. Competitors set for action as we see
Oh my
Jacob Fatu,
god, again.
Mysterio,
JD.
Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And across from them, they will be squaring off with JD McDonough,
I'm
Finn
getting
Balor,
really
Dominic
tired.
Mysterio,
My
and
clay's
Carlito.
getting
This
sloppy
match will
ass
very well
and
come down to
towel.
experience. And I'm not just talking about individual experience. I'm talking about the experience you have with your partner. Knowing how to be on the same page is going to be crucial. Jacob Fatu sending a clear message here.
Like he didn't want to be caught watching me. It was huge. Seemingly too big to get the large open window in front of the barn where it appeared to be perched. Its eyes
He has a hold of JD.
right.
Did Jacob Fatu get enough of it?
And quickly now, shoulders down for the win. Oh, he got it, what a win!
But never reaching me. That's the only way I can explain it.
here are your winners.
Like going outside
The
of my
team up. Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio.
Once in a while, I hear noises from seemingly within it. It sounds like somebody's setting down a pile of wooden planks over and over. It could be an echo from elsewhere on the property, but I don't know. I also feel like it may have just been my mind playing tricks on me. I feel like the barn is watching me whenever I pass it. While the story is compelling, it raises questions about the validity of the sighting.
Alright, quick smoke, then we're back at it.
The giant Canadian spider bat might have been a trick of the light or a reflection from inside the barn, as he was wearing a headlamp during the encounter.
At the start of 2025, just after The Rock had made friends again with Cody Rhodes, but before Jey Uso had won the Royal Rumble and John Cena had turned heel, Luke and I predicted WrestleMania 41 way too far in advance. And now we're going to go back and revisit those predictions and see how 100% accurate we've been.
I get the feeling that we're going to be way off on a lot of these. I can't remember what we predicted, but I do remember some of them, and I think we got a lot of them wrong.
Well, I don't think that's on us, because if you cast your mind back to the start of 2025, Raw had just debuted on Netflix, and it felt like most of the creative energy was on building blow-off matches for that. We had the Roman Reigns Solo Sikoa thing, we had CM Punk Seth Rollins. But as far as, like, who's going to main event WrestleMania, we had no idea.
Well, particularly with Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble. That was a proper, like, outside choice, because people thought it was either going to be, well, one of the stars. They thought it was going to be a CM Punk or a John Cena or a Roman Reigns or a Seth Rollins. I think no one had Jey down. To go in that direction. On the morning of, I did have my
you had your shower moment.
Thing in the shower where I was like, I think they're going to do Yeatlemania, but I did not think he would win the Royal Rumble. I thought it was never in a month of Sundays did I think that Jey was going to win the Rumble.
If I can cast my mind back, I think I'm like, well, of course they're going to do CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. That felt like a direction they were going in. Or maybe Roman Reigns, because there was the favor with Paul Heyman. That dynamic was still there.
I think we probably did have Cody and Cena, because I was like, Cena's going to win the Rumble.
You wanted that, yeah.
Yeah, I really thought that Cena was going to win the Rumble, so.
I think I was Punk heavy. But also, we thought that The Rock was just going to go away for a bit, because he weirdly turned up on the Raw Netflix debut, went, hey, I'm a good guy now, but me and Cody and his mum and my mum, we all hang out, we're best friends now.
But then he
happened off screen.
I think, well, the mum stuff was in the other promo. I think the first promo was just like, hey, we drink vodka together.
Am I Sinbad?
I think you mixed up the two promos. I don't think he did talk about the mums in the first one. I think he only talked about the mums in the second promo.
Okay, we just had a tequila and a thing and all
exactly,
that stuff.
We drink vodka together, we drink tequila together. He's carried this company for the previous year. Look, there he is in the crowd, that jabroni over there.
Yeah.
I'm the star in the middle of this ring here. And then he showed up on Netflix. I was like, you idiot! I'm clearly telling a story, you marks!
But we all thought, oh, that's the sign that The Rock is not going to have anything to do with WrestleMania.
Yeah. I've been said on the live reaction today with Dan, I think I said it on the review afterwards, he's not going to be wrestling at WrestleMania. I didn't think he'd be at WrestleMania at all.
So this card that we're going to go through, this was me and you going through all of the roster and trying to book both nights of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And we came to this as a collaborative decision.
We did.
We also did another non-reacting show, a sort of prediction show. We predicted WrestleMania 41 way too far in advance, the week after WrestleMania 40.
Sure did.
April 2024. Me, you, and Pete sat here, and we did that. And we'll be doing that on the Patreon version. So patreon.com/WrestleTalk. You can watch that right there.
And now. So, are you ready?
Are you ready? It's not about me, guys.
So I'm trying to make it about me, because I really just want to sit behind my desk, not have any cameras on me, apart from this one camera that films everything I do. But apart from that, I don't want anything.
Some people are calling it the Paul Levesque era. Who is? The other people than me.
Fine, I'll go in the Hall of Fame.
My wife, I guess, yeah, she's saying it. All the people I pay.
So, are you ready? Because I've got the sheet here.
So this is night one opening match.
Shout out to Brandon, who went through this. We didn't actually go to the video ourselves to get this list together. We wanted Brandon to look at it and write it down for us so that we can come to this completely surprised.
Yeah.
And here we go. The opener on night one for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship is a three-way with Rhea Ripley.
Yes.
Versus Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair.
Okay.
I think because we thought, Charlotte's going to win the Rumble, and we thought they would do Charlotte and Rhea. And if I remember correctly, we then didn't have anything for Becky to do, so we just put Becky in this match.
Yeah, because Becky, she kept on being rumoured for a return. There was that report she was planned to return on the Raw Netflix debut, but The Undertaker wanted to give Rhea a lift home on his motorbike instead.
And then it turns out she was never planned for that Raw debut. And then it was like, oh, she'll be at the Royal Rumble. And then it turns out she was never planned for the Royal Rumble. And then it was like, oh, she'll be on the road to... Turns out she's got no WrestleMania plans either.
Oh, but Ram, Raw after Mania.
And then it'll come out there were never any plans for her to be on the Raw after Mania.
And then she'll just show up in AEW. Okay, well, we also thought, Rhea, she's a Raw championship person.
All right.
Figured, well, she's just won the title from Liv. And she's going to go into a high-profile program, probably with a returning Charlotte or Becky.
And we figured that Charlotte was going to return and win the Rumble, because she'd already been announced that she was returning for the Royal Rumble.
And here we go with this tag team matchup. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And they'll be in for one hell of a tag team match as they square up with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
Hard to decide what team has the advantage here. It'll probably come down to who. Jacob's playing something here.
Connecting on a DDT.
This spells trouble for McDonough.
That might have done it. This could be it. There's two. And that will end it.
Not you. This is all me. For the Intercontinental Championship,
Here are your winners.
Bron Breakker versus Sheamus.
And what did I keep saying? What did I keep saying? They're never gonna do it!
I know. Oh, well, much in the same way that I don't think Chad Gable is ever going to be treated as a serious wrestler, I'm now coming to this realization that maybe they're just not going to do the Sheamus thing. Even though they were telling that story on TV for a good few months, and then just didn't do it, and now Sheamus hasn't been on TV. Was he even in the Rumble?
Yeah, I think he had a spot with someone. But we've watched so many different Rumbles. Could that just be 2011? I don't know anymore.
And we are locked and loaded for this tag team matchup. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. But they will be facing some fierce tag team action. JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
And there is a lot of animosity growing between these teams. I think Jacob's playing something here. Is that all she wrote for McDonough? And then quickly the cover. 2K.
Oh, it's WrestleMania 2000.
So I take full blame.
Yeah, so the report is versus Penta versus...
Wasting no time. Into the cover.
It is a six-man tag.
Why have we done that?
What? I think you'll see why.
Because we didn't know what to do. Oh, sorry, do you mean six-man tag, as in a trios match?
Yes.
Oh, because I hear six-man tag, and I think last year's WrestleMania.
No, that is a
12 dudes in the ring.
That is a 16
Yes, okay.
match. This is a six-man tag. Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, and Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton, Jey Uso, and Sami Zayn.
That's the better match!
This is your long...
It's Shield!
It's your long reported, and not reported, but long theorized sword.
Teams in their respective corners for tonight's tag team contest. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And this is sure to be a barn burner of a tag match in this encounter with JD McDonough.
Nice takedown, stack for the pin. Turning around here.
Stops the count.
Yeah, do you want me or Linda? Which one?
Close. Sami and Owens had the match at Elimination Chamber. I don't think I'm...
Before it, too.
Keeping the loss at bay for now.
I'd say we're pretty far off on this because Drew, Seth, and Kevin Owens did not make the perfection.
Are you kidding me? Incredible. 2 minutes. 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 2
I think that's more in line with reality than Sheamus.
Ribbon to the ground.
I think they're equally as wrong.
In off the tag.
We've got written brackets, possibly TLC.
Jacob Fatu sending a clear message here.
New Day versus Judgment Day versus...
Sent flying. There's a lot of hard ways to land, but that might be the hardest.
Big punch, pretty much still doing the pressure of the heel turn angle.
Balloon had not completely fallen off the rose in mid-Jan. I think we probably were saying, like, they're not on TV a lot. They've not done a lot of...
What's Jacob Fatu's intentions here? Keep him down.
Transitions to the cover.
But is it enough?
Keeps his team in this one.
And then back to Dominic.
Has been in JD since pre-JD getting injured.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I remember Cody.
Down with the Samoan drop.
Precision offense into the pin. This could be it.
Yeah, do you want a video call so you can watch playing in the front?
Does his best. Saxton stares up at the lights.
Here are your winners.
Talk you got the dog.
Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate
Netflix debut that was just kind of a real one-shot episode. New Day, by the Royal Rumble, we'll have a big direction for them. But we didn't book Big E.
So, no, we didn't. Actually, that's a good point. We didn't.
So we didn't believe that Big E was coming back.
Because I then think I switched to being like, oh, it'll be New Day versus Ray and Big E in a tag match. I think that was the new direction I went in. I've actually got a different direction.
Sorry about that, guys. I've just got...
And I think, because obviously this not been announced yet, maybe we will be onto
calling
something
me.
with New Day and War Raiders, because New Day on Raw said, we want to shot the tag titles at WrestleMania. So maybe they could do a multi-man match, and I think I know who one of the teams might be. I think it's going to be War Raiders versus the New Day.
And if you want to see who can play well with others, put them in a tag match.
It's true. Teamwork needs to be on point to win one of these. You know, I always think of us as a three-man team.
Oh, shut up, Saxton. I'd switch sides just to pin you.
Oh, that's brilliant.
That's perfect.
I thought about this morning. I was like, I wonder if that would be a WrestleMania.
What's JD in for?
That's the big reveal.
About to end this fight.
Here we go. Cover. 2. An exhausting match, but a victory he'll savor forever.
We've got Piper and Chelsea Green.
Yep, they're a good act still. The
team up. Jacob Fatu,
Nia Jax is
Wade Barrett,
Nia Jax is going to just disappear on TV.
versus the Rookie Warriors.
Asuka's still injured. Kairi Sane is also injured.
Versus Liv and Raquel, who we did predict were going to be the women's tag team champions going into WrestleMania.
And they are the tag team champions right now.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's...
And I think we are going to get a multi-woman tag match for the tag titles.
Because it's WrestleMania 2000.
It's WrestleMania 2000.
Yeah, on the 25th anniversary.
And I think that Nia and Candice will be one of those teams.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think that's half wrong.
It's not.
And here we go with this tag team matchup. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. They've got their hands full across the ring with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
And trust is key to victory in a match like this. If you don't have a tag partner you can rely on, you might as well pack it.
And you know what's next, guys?
Did Jacob Fatu get enough of it?
Looking for the victory. 2. An exhausting victory, but a win nonetheless.
And after that Netflix
here are your
debut,
winners. The team up. Jacob Fatu,
finish with Solo. The reason to clear up those two bits was so Roman and Punk can start on this collision course over Paul Heyman.
And we booked it as the main event as well, with no titles on the line.
No titles on the line.
Yeah.
And then how were we to know that Seth would still be around? Seth, the third wheel in 2 years of WrestleMania back-to-back.
Hey, someone's had a go at us, and he's the backbone of this company, and we should show him.
Teams are in their respective corners for this tag match. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And across from them, they will be squaring off with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio and Carlito.
It is going to be all about teamwork and partnership.
Here it comes. And looking at Jacob Fatu. Brought down with a DDT.
Is that all she wrote for McDonough?
2 count. As he put him away. That's a pretty big
We
win.
didn't just do one predicting WrestleMania 41 way too far.
Here are your winners.
We did two.
The team
Because
of
the other one
Jacob
was
Fatu,
even
Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the
recorded the
Ultimate
week after WrestleMania.
I know. I can remember two of the matches that I booked. One of which was the thumbnail for the video, so I remember that one. And the other one was my big YouTube tag team match that I think I had Mr. Beast as a part of with Simon Miller.
Yeah, and Logan Paul versus
Logan Paul, I think it was-
whoever.
if I remember correctly, and I might be wrong on this, I think it's Logan Paul and KSI.
Yeah. The Usos versus the Rhodes. That was
Yes, you did, yeah.
I think that was a SummerSlam prediction.
Oh, I think so, because that might have been the thumbnail we picked for that one.
Yeah, because back then that was when we're like, well, Dustin is going to go to WWE when his AEW contract expires.
These
This was
teams are ready to
April
test each other in this
2024.
tag team matchup.
I
Competitors
think
set for action
Brian was
as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior standing across from them. It's a very tough task with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
This match been very well. Jacob's planning something here.
And looking at Jacob Fatu.
Together to do night two.
DDT. Did Jacob Fatu get enough of it? Two. That'll do it.
But our opening
The
contest
victory
is
tonight.
Rey Mysterio versus Dragon Lee.
Here are your winners. The team of Jacob Fatu,
I think Rey Mysterio versus Penta. We didn't have a Penta PNG, so we just put Dragon Lee in his place. That's what we did.
So we booked Rey Mysterio versus Penta.
Yes, but Brandon didn't just saw at the end.
Yes.
We booked Rey Mysterio versus Dragon Lee.
Okay.
Okay, I feel less thick about that one.
And did they team together?
The Rumble and then Penta eliminated himself and then stayed in the Rumble for a bit longer.
Well, that's from another time when WWE would only book Latinos against other Latinos.
And we also thought that is the dream match. If you could bring in Penta into WWE, do Penta versus...
Time to test how well these superstars work together. It's a good old tag team match. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And on the other side of the ring, they are facing off with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
We have to be expecting a frenetic pace. Here we go. This spells trouble for McDonough.
And running to cover.
Might end this.
And got the win. That is a huge win here tonight.
It's going to be Jade Naomi at WrestleMania.
Yeah, you gotta think so, as a grudge match sort of thing. Pretty quick, though, I reckon that will be. If I can make not too far an advance prediction. But yeah, so we predicted this a month before, 6 weeks before.
An impressive win for this superstar, that's for sure.
I'll hang my hat on a win of that caliber any day of the week. This is one to be proud of.
Naomi's definitely done it. I think a lot of us were pushing, me certainly, that Bianca was actually the mastermind.
I was too.
But they did not go in that direction.
Well,
for now.
Yeah, I think Jade was out with a serious case of the backstage heat.
A bit of the Shayness.
Just kept her on the shelf for a little bit. Match 3 for the United States Championship. It's another multi-man match. It's not just Triple H who's looking at WrestleMania 2000 at the template, as we have got, and this might not be that far off, Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Ah.
So we may be close to this direction. If we're going to go with Jacob Fatu.
Two very different but equally intimidating teams going head-to-head here.
I'm not sure who I'd pick as the early favorite coming into this. Either team could get the job done.
I think that's exactly why the WWE Universe is so excited to see this one play out.
I might just type WWE.com.
It's a good guess.
And
What's JD in for? Absolutely spiked DDT.
This spells trouble for McDonough.
There's two.
on your cards, it's all multi-man matches.
For the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, I think this was our TLC match. And again, we might not be too far off the mark with this one. We've got Webster Machine Guns versus Team return at the Royal Rumble. So it could be a fatal four-way with those teams. So we were sort of on the money, but we were missing the profits.
Montez Ford around that time was doing loads of interviews as well. Like, I'm frustrated, I'm sick of all this.
Dawkins was walking around with a crutch.
Yeah.
Because he was like on the Rumble day, was doing media on the crutch to throw people off that they were actually cleared and ready to return.
Good working.
Very good working. Match number 5. This is a sign of the times.
A sign of the times 10 weeks ago.
The Final Testament and The Miz
Oh, no.
versus Wyatt Six.
Oh, jeez. So, 3 of the people involved in that are no longer with the company? So AOP and
And it is finally time for some good old tag team action. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And we'll see if they're prepared for tag team action as they go head-to-head with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
You know this is a tough match for superstars who don't play well with others. You really need to find a way to properly mix your skills with your partners.
Jacob Fatu puts him off.
managers are ringside.
I actually forgot we did women in there as well. We had Nikki Cross and
What a headbutt.
Just like the previous year Final Testament Pride match, which went so well, where Scarlett wrestled the
Oh, could this be it?
Wyatt Six is not
DDT. There you go. About to end this fight. Making the most of that with the pin.
and Alexa Bliss is now back. She wasn't, about this time. Actually, she wasn't this time. Yeah, she was definitely looking at coming back because she hadn't.
Samoa drop.
And there were no like Bliss in the Wyatt 60s. It's coming to that. Bliss hadn't.
Follows up, shoulders down. 2. And finally, he picks up the victory.
Championship. I've got a feeling this is a bit of year.
Here are your winners. The team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett,
Pretty close, though.
Is it?
I mean, if you take the 2 women's title matches, I've got half of them.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you just look at the women's titles, Io Sky, Charlotte, and Stratum, we put them all in the top title matches.
That's actually true. So we
And Ripley.
So we've got Ripley, Sky, and Stratton, and Flair. So all we're missing is a Bianca Belair, and we would have completed the set. We've just got them in sort of different combinations.
So we had an extra.
Which, we could have replaced with Bianca, but maybe we misspelt, and we just went to a different B.
Yeah. So this was also before the end of the transfer portal closing. So we also didn't talk.
Really?
Yeah.
Superstars in their respective corners now for this tag team match. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And they'll have their work cooperating cut out for them here, dealing with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
These teams have built up lots of energy.
Oh, here we go.
DDT.
This spells trouble for McDonough.
And right away to the pin. It's over. It is over.
Heart pick. My head knew that Flair was winning, but I really wanted Io Sky to win the belt. But I would have thought I'd have done Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley, because that's the match I've been talking about since like earlier.
Yeah. Oh, I know what it is. Sorry, this is me.
Big effort tonight. A well-earned
I really
victory here
enjoyed
tonight.
the women's elimination chamber, War Games match.
That's exactly what it is.
I was the only person, I think, who enjoyed... Me and Sat were the only people on the planet who enjoyed the women's War Games match. And that was largely because of the work between Tiffany Stratton and Io Sky. They had loads of cool spots, the chief one being when they both did their trash can dive for Io and best moonsault ever thing for Tiffany off the top of the cage. And I was just like, well, you know, that's obviously setting up your Mania main event.
Which brings us to the main event for the WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes defending against John Cena.
We did it!
And this is sure to be a hard-hitting tag team battle. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And in the other corner, they will be dealing with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlita.
Both sides in this match know that tag team competition is a very specific, very unique art form.
What's JD in for?
This spells trouble for McDonough.
Directly into the cover.
The damage is done.
And Balor.
I had John Cena's winning record. So I was like, John Cena wins.
Great ring.
And here we go. The Boston Crab. Look at the back position.
Way to power out the Boston Crab.
Because this is a U pick, and also the ending exactly right one we
Incredible.
Oh, man, this might be it.
There's two. Man, that's gotta feel good. Sweet.
No moving ball on the show at all. Or AJ Styles.
Yeah, well, he was injured, wasn't he? AJ comes back in the Rumble.
Did he get steamed and he gets transferred to Raw? Is that how it works?
No, I'm pretty sure when we made these predictions, AJ had just said
This win is going to have them on a high for quite some time. I have to believe. Winning.
Yeah, because he came back even bigger than before. Funny how that works.
Globe, there have been whispers, stories of the unseen, spirits that linger, ghosts that haunt, and beings from beyond that defy explanation. From ancient myths to modern legends, they walk among us. Hello, patrons, and welcome to the Mythical Mug Tavern.
And here we go with tag team rules in effect. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And across the ring, the team they're ready to face off with: JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlita.
Quick tags and staying fresh are imperative. Are we about to see it?
And looking at Jacob Fatu.
DDT. Jacob about to end this fight. Turning it into the pin. Two.
And picks up a monumental victory.
TNA is deeply respected for its ability to bring both blessings and misfortune to the community.
The team up, Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate Warrior.
Gotta hand it to our winner, standing tall with their arm raised tonight.
With a win like that, you have to stand back for a moment and realize all your hard work paid off.
It is said to have a slender, humanoid body and may be accompanied by an owl. Parents would use the tail to deter bedwetting, warning that Mao de Cabello would cut off the genitals of offenders. This folklore, prevalent in Minas Gerais, serves as a cautionary tale against improper urination habits. Morgans, also known as Mary Morgans, are Welsh and Breton water spirits associated with drowning men. In Breton folklore, Mary Morgans are comparable to mermaids and lure sailors with hypnotic voices. They are believed to live near coasts, caves, and river mouths, with legends of kidnapping sailors or marrying them in underwater palaces.
Multi-superstar team match underway. These matches always bring out the fast-paced action. Always get the WWE Universe on its feet. This one shouldn't be any different.
Depicted as hairy strong odor. Search for food at night, sneaking into gardens and orchards while wearing discarded human clothes. Some researchers believe the Mesha Adam is a version...
What's Jacob Fatu's intentions here? What a DDT! Is that all she wrote for McDonough?
2 count. Finally, monumental victory!
Described as angelic beings with large green wings and eyes as white as breaking
The team
waves.
Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate Warrior!
Descend from the sunset clouds to help. They loaded his nets with fish, wiped his sweat, and sheltered him with their wings. They even rowed the boat to the docks or blew winds to fill the sails, ensuring safe passage even on calm days. At Bagbury Farm, a notorious man's ghost took the form of a bull, causing havoc at night. Despite attempts by 12 parsons to lay him, they failed until they trapped him in Hissington Church. In the church, the bull made a powerful burst, cracking the wall. Eventually, they subdued the bull and laid him under Bagbury.
Two stacked teams ready to go at it in this one.
There are a lot of egos and conflicting agendas in play here. Let's see if everyone can play nice.
The Red Sea for 1,000 years. Even after, people remained afraid of Bagbury Bridge, treading softly to avoid disturbing the laid ghost. The legend of the great giant of
We know what's next.
Connecting on the DDT.
Jacob about to end this fight.
And that'll finally do it. What a victory.
Lit candles. The demon attacks in various terrifying forms.
The team Jacob Fatu.
The last priest perseveres, and the demon is eventually trapped in the form of a fly. They imprison it in a tobacco box and cast it into Linwin Pool for a specified period, warning against disturbing it during dredging to prevent unleashing the troublesome spirit. Herner the Hunter is a ghost described as having antlers on his head and riding a horse. He is said to torment cattle and rattle chains. The earliest mention of Herne comes from William Shakespeare's play The Merry Wives of Windsor, circa 1597.
And we are locked and loaded for this tag team matchup. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And they'll have their work cooperating cut out for them here, dealing with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
Quick tags and staying fresh are imperative in attack.
Jacob's planning something here.
Jacob about to end this fight.
Beautiful transition.
And now the cover. And the victory!
Is a white or black rooster with a fiery tail resembling a meteor.
Here are your winners. The team Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate Warrior.
That may be one of the most important wins I've seen in recent memory.
I agree, Corey. A huge victory tonight.
It's always great to visit the pay window, but a victory like this makes the winner's purse all that much sweeter.
These teams are ready to test each other in this tag team matchup. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And on the other side of the ring, they are facing off with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
And trust is key to victory in a match like this. If you don't have a tag partner you can rely on, you might as well pack it in now.
Practically never-ending blows coming at full force here.
Assistant putters. The
Series of counters here. Who will finally capitalize? A masterful display of defense from both wrestlers.
Jacob Fatu trying to ramp things up.
One unique facet of the far spirituality is the concept of gore.
What's JD in for?
Absolutely spiked.
DDT. Jacob about to end this fight.
That will end it. And foreseen future events. They hold a vital role in the far society, providing
The team of Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and the Ultimate Warrior.
The Hoko is a nature spirit that resides within ancient trees, particularly 1,000-year-old trees. It is described as resembling a black dog with no tail, but possessing a human-like face. Most encounters with Hoko are accidental and involve old woodcutters chopping into camphor trees, causing blood to flow from the tree as a result of the Hoko residing within. Records of Hoko appear in Japanese and Chinese chronicles, with accounts even mentioning their edibility. According to ancient Chinese records, Hoko was stewed and eaten, with reports describing them as tasting sweet and sour, similar to dog meat.
And here we go with this tag team matchup. Competitors set for action as we see Jacob Fatu, Rey Mysterio, Wade Barrett, and Ultimate Warrior. And in the other corner, they will be dealing with JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Carlito.
And there is a lot of animosity growing between these teams. I expect all four competitors to...
What's Jacob Fatu's intentions here?
DDT! This spells trouble for McDonough.
Wasting no time. Shoulders are down. And there's the win. Huge win here tonight.
Or sudden drops in temperature. Some versions of the legend suggest that she may companionship, only to reveal her ghostly nature once they are close. Carew Castle, once home to the cruel Sir Roland Rees, harbors a chilling tale. In the 17th century, Sir Roland's pet ape, brought from Africa, became an instrument of wickedness. A stormy night unfolded a tragic scene when a local merchant, Horowitz, sought Sir Roland's help over an elopement. Enraged, Sir Roland unleashed his ape on Horowitz, leaving him gravely injured. In a vengeful slumber, Horowitz cursed Sir Roland. To his horror, he awoke to find Sir Roland torn apart, the ape lifeless in the fireplace.
Okay, so here's the plan. A $10. Hopefully I get Austin. If I don't, which I seriously hope I do, it might be a case of grinding for another $20.
Was said to be haunted by the Fuath and its son, the
But
Brochan. Descriptions include a noseless banshee with yellow hair and a green silk dress.
we will see how
The
we
Fuath,
go.
encountered near Loch Migdale, was subdued with steel tools and transformed into a jellyfish-like mass in the light. These spirits are associated with bodies of water, and in some stories are believed to intermarry with humans, resulting in offspring with unique features. The term